Hello everyone and welcome back to the Escape Champions League.
Hello everyone
and I can hear myself. Let's get rid of that. Why can I hear myself? I can hear myself. Let's get rid of that. There we go. That should be fixed. Apologies for the echo there at the start. Minor technical problem. But welcome everyone. We are here with the Americas 2v2 stage, fresh after a little break from the last one, which was Southeast Asia.
Yeah. We saw some pretty good games then, and then, there's a little bit of a delay as the players play their games and get ready for this stage, and now we're back into it with the Americas.
Yep.
All new maps, all new civs in the pool. It's all new.
Yeah, exactly, and we're going to be here with the 2v2 stage. It's going to be exciting because right now it's very, very close in the standings. I'm going to bring that up because I think this is the most dramatic thing I've ever seen in a high-level competitive tournament. Honestly, like how often do you get to see a tournament where it is this close? We're looking at 3 points separating the top, 5 teams, I guess. If you
top 4 teams, Secret doesn't count anymore.
Yeah, we don't Secret. Ignore them.
Yeah,
but Aftermath, Frantic, SY, and Suomi fighting tooth and nail here to get their spot in the grand finals and join, I presume, Secret, who are 20 points clear of everyone else.
Yeah. And the nice thing here is that none of those 4 teams are facing each other this round.
No.
So in theory, all of them could win or all of them could lose.
And that will change things and shake things up massively.
However it goes between them.
Right. And at this point, we saw Suomi, we saw AM at the start of the tournament, a little bit underwhelming. They've really picked themselves up. They've started to come back at Frantic and SY, the 2 Chinese teams who started out strong. Yeah. And who haven't really seen any good results during the last few stages of the event. So I'm very excited for this. And just for the record as well, before we get into this stream, we are dual streaming this on my channel as well, just to raise awareness of the event and that I'm not dead. I am alive. I have been here for the last year.
2 years?
Yeah, 2 years. I haven't
stuff?
I've just not been streaming on my channel. I've been streaming on EscapeAoE, which is where most people are actually watching this right now. So if you're watching this on the Zero Empires channel, I am alive and I have been alive. I'm just not on this channel anymore. But we're live streaming it here today just to sort of raise that awareness, I guess, because too many people seem to think I've gone and I've not. I've been here the whole time. I'm like a magician.
Ooh,
now you see me? No, you don't. So let's take a look at the brackets. This is the bracket for this stage or this event. Obviously, we're starting with starting at the top and going down. BZK versus SY, Secret versus Suomi, Frantic versus Heresy, AM versus VNA. And as you said, AM, Frantic, Suomi, and SY, they're not facing each other in that first round.
Right.
So, like you say, any of them can get to the final here, and any of them can start to make some leaps and bounds up in the standings. Now, what I'm really excited for today, is Secret versus Suomi.
Right. It's just they've been in so many finals together. They've played so many times over the past few events, and pretty much every time recently, Suomi has beaten Secret.
Yes. If we look back over the brackets, and if anyone's interested in seeing the brackets in full, you can actually see them on the escape.gg website, as well as the maps and the civilization pool information. But if you go to escape.gg and you click on the individual stages, you can see the brackets. And over the last few events, it has been Suomi, that they're the Secret Slayers every time. They're just like, they meet Secret, no problem, we'll take them down.
And if they can do that again here, that's obviously a coup for them because they take out the best team, arguably the best team. Pretty clearly, they're up on the top of the standings. Take them out early, and then SY and BZK, they're not on that level. So if Suomi beat Secret, they can probably beat whoever they place in the semis, and then it's straight into the finals.
I don't know. I mean, SY, it's Yinghua and Lix.
Like it's not
Yo,
the best team.
Yeah. That's a good point. But Max and Ruben's stock is also perhaps not the maximum power level.
Well, they recently won a 2v2 tournament together, the 2v2 World Cup.
Right, that's true. I can't remember who else played in that tournament.
There was names like Miguel and Dogao.
Okay.
Yo and Lix, Vivian Tim.
Okay.
Backed in ACCM.
Good teams.
There were good teams,
but it's not Viper and Tato.
No,
that's true. For me is like, I think Suomi here, they needed to bring their biggest, most powerful combination to this bracket, And no disrespect to Rubenstock, but I do think he's not at the same level as perhaps Zuppi or Vilesa. And I don't know, maybe he can prove us wrong here.
I think it also depends a little bit on the maps. Like I think Max and Zuppi, they've already played together, so that's out. I feel like Vilesa is very much an Arabia open map player, whereas Rubenstock has that sort of just unknown element. Right, where like he just randomly douches you, or does weird, wacky strategies on the somewhat different maps we see. Like we've got Hamburger today, or maybe we'll see Hamburger. Right, that's one of the weirdest maps out there.
That is true. It's kind of wacky, kind of crazy. But I feel like a player like Tato performs really well in those games as well. But then again, we also saw Rubenstock. I don't know if people remember this on the Chaos Pit. We had Rubenstock
like triple
doing
douching.
A 3 TC douche.
Right.
That was hilarious. That was awesome. And I think it's going to be good. Looking forward to this. And yeah, people in the chat pointing out it was actually Viper and MBL, which is an incredibly strong combination.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We forgot about that. But I do think Viper and Tato, formidable force. I think that's going to be the game to really watch out for today. I'm really excited to see how that one turns out. And then, of course, you've got AM, Liri, and Nikov. I think that's a really powerful combination. And I think, if I had to guess, like I'm just making some predictions here. Liri and Nikov probably go through and face Miguel de Gao. But I don't know.
ACCM and Cool, not the strongest lineup for Vietnam.
You mean ACCM and C?
Yeah, well, it is cool. It's too long, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I realized I misspelled Nikov, but I can't fix that at the moment, so he can just be Neov.
Neov.
That's what we've got
Everyone
today.
knows who we mean.
Yeah.
Right, anyway, let's take a look at the schedule for today. As I say, we're starting at the top, working our way down. BZK versus SY first, and let's see what maps we've got. It will be a best of 3, starting on Mesas. Awesome. I'm so excited for this, actually. Mesas is one of the maps which was created for the map making competition. It's a brand new map, especially for this stage in this tournament. And I'm very excited to see this play out because I think it's a fantastic map.
Right. And quite often we've seen the players sort of shy away from the new maps because they haven't played it before. They're really wary of trying out new things on it.
Yeah, right.
But this map, it's similar enough to existing maps to still be played, but there are some differences. So I think the players are like, we feel comfortable playing this. It's not as wacky as, Hamburger or Atacama, but they're still playing that anyway.
Yeah, and I also think it gives teams an opportunity to prepare for a map and to come up with a strategy which no one, they have to look at it fresh. They have to think about the map and what that implicates in the game and, actually come to the game with a plan. And so I'm excited to see this, see what they do. And I really hope this series goes to all 3 games because I would love to see Atacama here. I think that would be awesome. And looking forward to this. Yeah. So let's go into it. I think we can start the first game. Here we go. This is hopefully going to work. We've got so many PCs in our office.
There's like 6 different monitors like arrayed around this room. It's a little bit hectic.
It's getting more intense as we go by here from the studio. But looking at this, SY winning a lot more games than winning a lot more games than BZK. BZK not with the best track record, to be honest. And we're going to go into game number 1 right now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first game of the Americas 2v2 stage for the Escape Champions League. We're here with BZK versus SY in the round of 8. It is a best of 3, and there is no double elimination. The winner goes through, the loser is eliminated. And in a best of 3, I feel like anything can happen. So even though BZK, coming into this game, don't have a great track record, 3 wins and 12 losses or something.
Not very good.
SY, 12 wins, 12 losses, looking a lot better. We'll see how this plays out. Anything could happen, but I think we have to perhaps favor SY going into this series.
Just on their past record. Yeah. Slightly favored.
For sure. And our first game here will be Mesas, a map which we've never seen before, played competitively. It's a brand new map specifically for this tournament, and we'll take a look at the map in detail very shortly. But first, let's introduce the teams and the players. Over to the west of the map in the green, playing for Team SY, it is Lix. He's taken the Ethiopians here. And then up to the north in the blue, his teammate, Yinghua, playing as the Franks. That's Team SY up to the north and the west of the map.
And on the other side, we have Fire playing in the yellow as the Mayans, classic Civ. And then otherwise, we've also got Goku down far on the south as the Franks. So we see the first difference between the two teams, Ethiopians and Mayans.
Yeah, and that's interesting, really, isn't it? Because I feel like both Civs are very strong, and both Civs probably likely to go archers as well.
They're both archer Civs to support the Frankish Knights.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see how that develops in the late game, because, I mean, the Mayan player is very typically going to go for plumed archers, whereas the Ethiopian player, they have a few more options. I mean, they can go down the Arbalest route, but that's kind of risky if your opponent is going Mayan plumed archers, because you might have the fire speed advantage, but plumed archers still a sort of semi-counter to other archer units.
You can always just add in some siege onagers, though.
Exactly.
Mayan siege just to support Helbs and Arbalest. That could be pretty good if they get to that stage. The problem is surviving, the early Imperial Age power spike from the Mayans.
For sure, and like the Ethiopians have some of the best siege in the game, so it's if they can get there, it's going to be quite scary. But what I do like about Lix's base, the Ethiopian player in this game, is it's actually going to be quite easy for him to wall this. He's actually right in the corner, and he's got a fairly easy wall across the front of his base here and here, and then he's kind of just got this like arena type map where everything just in the back is
and he's
just
got
for him.
8 extra sheep back there.
It's just
that happens on this map. Sometimes you get random sheep in the corners, and strangely enough, he actually has this huge forest on like the
south.
Yeah, the south side of his map. Normally, most of the forest is in the middle of the map.
Yeah, as you can see here.
Right, and there's just like small little pockets of trees against the cliffs. So quite luckily for him, he's got a nice wallable map and a ton of forest.
Yeah, and then you look at Fire on the other side of the map, and he's had to build his lumber camp forward. He does have this little forest at the back, but it's quite far away, and I guess he's just feeling here because it's a lot closer to his town centre.
It's easier to defend, right? You've got berries, the forest, and the gold all pretty close to each other.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Yinghua as well, with a reasonably easy wallable map, you can see already he's starting to wall it up, as the Chinese players often do. And I just think that the map is looking pretty good for SY at the moment, and you spoke about maybe seeing some Ethiopian siege. You need trade to pull that off, I think. And you sort of mentioned to me before we cast this game about how the map doesn't really favor trading that nicely because the corners are very blocked off. This is what the corner of the map looks like.
Right, like
this poor fella here decided to venture out. And you know what happened.
Yeah. Like, could you sort of lose like a quarter of the map distance?
Yeah,
just from the cliffs and like the weird out juttings of cliff and stuff that gets in the way of trade. You're never gonna have a nice, smooth, perfect trade line like you would want to have, which sort of favors going for early hard aggression in like mid castle age, early imp, and try to just get in there and kill them.
Yeah,
before you get to a late game situation where you have to play with substandard trade lines.
Yeah, and I think that, that actually if you do have to trade, I'd rather have Lix and Yinghua's side because they've got a lot larger distance to trade between than Fire and Goku. But Feudal Age is coming in now. Goku will be up first as the Franks here. And we do see quite considerable walling from Goku. Fire's like, not walling this. I'm not going to do that. I mean, he will wall it. I don't think he lost a villager, but he has placed a couple of palisades out here.
I think that's just to tell himself that there's a wolf there.
Yeah, exactly. He needs to be aware of that and not send an unloomed villager that way, although he is the Mayans, so of course he's going to have loom anyway. But always a good habit to be in, I guess. But yeah, all players up to feudal. Most players going up with 20 to 22 vils. So it's not like they're looking to just do a straight FC here, which almost surprises me given how good Lix's map is, for instance.
I feel like if he was Mayans, he probably would have done it.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah,
Mayans, you get the castle age, you get the castle up, you get plumes going, and you're fine.
Yeah, and it's really hard to break through as well. Okay. If you put the castle like maybe out here, for example, like you're protecting the left side of your base and all this stuff, but he's not the Mayans, he's the Ethiopians.
Ethiopians feel like it's a little bit better slightly to do a bit more feudal aggression, at least try to.
Yeah.
As the Ethiopians versus the Mayans.
For sure. But we will see a double archery range start for Lix, and I imagine we'll see Fire. Well, he's not feudal age yet, but I imagine we'll see an archery range coming straight up for him as well.
He's got man-at-arms going forward.
Oh, actually. He has. My bad. Sorry. Here we are. Yeah. I did think he built the barracks quite early. I just never spotted the man-at-arms. So he actually has 4 men-at-arms. And this could work out really well, because Yinghua isn't actually walled yet. And there's a hole here. That is a hole,
You can't even see the palisade wall.
There it is. It pops up from behind the mountain. But that's looking like a dead villager to me.
For sure.
Like, unless he can quick wall himself in with this lag, I doubt it would be possible. We're talking about China and Brazil here. They are on literally opposite sides of the world. If you dig a hole through China, you'll come out in
South America somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere in South America. So there is definitely going to be latency. Quick walling going to be much harder.
The biggest problem though is the fact that this hole stays open. And now maybe scouts from Goku can just stream across the map straight through here and just double.
Oh, Yinghua! I mean, it's so close. So close, but so far. The whole wall is completely useless if it's not closed completely. And, of course, BZK are going to abuse that weakness in the SY defense. But, you know, this is, I guess, the insurance of SY. They've not gone really greedy, and they've not got Licks fast castling, so that means Licks can come over with archers and support as well.
But archers, they're not very fast.
No, they will take longer to get over here.
You much prefer your scout player to come across the map.
That's very, very true. And we do see as well Yinghua here trying to deal with these men-at-arms. The scouts are in from Goku as well. One villager goes down for Yinghua, and the scouts from Yinghua now just trying to poke and prod at the men-at-arms. With a bit of good micro, you can take them out quite easily.
But now Goku's here too.
Exactly.
You don't want to take any fights when you're outnumbered.
Yeah, I mean, fortunately for Yinghua, he's the Franks, and he's got that berry bonus, so he's got enough food production to actually make defensive scouts without hurting his production here. But yeah, he's a little outnumbered, and the archers from Licks are nowhere in sight because he's actually going down south. He's going to the land down under. Robo knows all about that.
And he's got the scout inside the walls to pick off this villager.
It's very, very neat, and he can prevent the re-walling here, which is just really good positioning on that scout. And I thought maybe he was open, but actually he's not. Is he going to get the re-wall, though? The scout really just making it very difficult for Goku, but it is on 4 HP, which means it will die.
It looks like maybe just a gate behind this blacksmith?
Yeah, just here. Goku's not doing it, though.
And there's still no fletching, so he can't attack the builds.
Yeah, the fletching is coming in.
Or a house.
He'll house it.
Is there maybe a hole there?
Ooh, could be a hole here. No hole. No hole.
Well, actually, we're on the wrong point of view. We wouldn't be able to see anyway.
We wouldn't be able to see if Goku had a hole here? Because what?
The player needs to be able to see that spot for the wall to work.
See, right.
And so we were looking at the blue player's point of view, and he obviously hasn't scouted red.
Right, for sure. Right. Okay, well, here on the left side, Fire is coming over with archers now as well.
And Spearman.
He's still got his 2 men-at-arms alive, and Yinghua in a lot of pressure. Do you think he needs a defensive
tower on the gold, for
right
sure.
there, as I was about to say. So I think the answer to that is yes, he does need a defensive tower, but he also needs to wall it. But I guess it's not going to matter anyway since there's archers behind here. But that tower is going down as quickly as it tried to go up. And Yinghua there will delete it successfully so he can at least try again. But he's got a lot of farms up. He's got wheelbarrow coming in. Like, his eco is messy-ish, but it's also stable. And he can continue to make those scouts. Those Frank scouts, of course, which do have higher HP, which is great against these archers from Fire.
Oh, and those spearmen getting in there as well.
Yeah, it's not too bad, but of course he's just outnumbered. And with fletching on these archers and the spearmen from Fire coming forward doing considerable damage, I think it's fair to say that Yinghua is not defending this successfully.
Well, Licks is coming back to help him out. He's decided, okay, I can't get into Goku's base. I'm forced to cross the map again and go help out my ally.
Yeah. Again.
And now we just see the huge difference between the Frank players here. Goku, he's almost halfway up the castle. And here, we've got 200 food in the bank. Nowhere near going castle.
Well, he's had to invest into a lot more scouts this game, hasn't he? I mean, he's lost 13 units. I don't know how many villages he's maybe lost, but
I think 3,
most of them will be
bills?
scouts. And that's like 800 food on scouts almost that he's spent here. I don't know if he's made quite 10, but still,
yeah,
the point
like
remains.
that.
It's a lot of food invested, and Goku has been untouched. He kept himself walled up. He's got his 2 stables down, and I think BZK are in a very strong position for this mid game, especially since they have a Mayan player. I feel like once the Mayan player gets up to castle, and they get the castle up, they're gonna have this stronger unit composition against the Ethiopians.
Right. The nice thing is though, once Licks gets to castle age, he gets the free pikeman upgrade. He can make a couple of those to help sort of slow down Goku doing any pressure.
Yeah, that is true. Ethiopians are just... I think they're a fantastic civ, to be honest. But, yeah, he is, of course, going into crossbow once he gets up. But the first person who is up will be Goku. 2 knights queued in each stable.
He's dropping 1 TC already. He's got the wood for a second TC as well.
Which he's doing on the right side here. And then he'll put another one up. Well, I mean, where would you put another one up? I guess he's... Well, okay.
I would not have put it there.
No, I wouldn't put it there either. But I think... Well, he can still farm around that. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
He's only got this that's blocked. That's not too bad, Robo.
Yeah, well, it's not... It could be worse. For sure.
Like,
but...
I don't think that's terrible, actually.
That's definitely a bullet TC.
I don't know. It could be better, but I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's terrible.
Is that a siege workship he's dropping as well?
It is a market actually.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I like that BZK have had the time with this early aggression from the Man-at-Arms. They've actually had the time to wall up and actually close their map. They've got a team wall essentially now, and he will close out the top as well. But here come the Knights, and they are supported by a lot of those Mayan archers.
Yep. He's a lot slower up to castle later, so they're not going to get a crossbow for a while.
Which gives perhaps Lix the opportunity to do some damage.
He deleted his barracks for a 3rd archery range.
He has.
So he's definitely not making any pikemen then.
No, and I guess it's... I don't know. I feel like you're against the Mayans. You could make some pikes, but you're probably throwing them away against the archers anyway.
I would still make just 2 or 3 simply to make Goku have to force into micro. Right? Otherwise, he just sort of patrols them all in, and then he can...
Then maybe the best army win.
Yeah. Like, that's all he really needs to do if it's pure crossbows. But here...
Yeah. That's true. But Yinghua is stalling nicely with these gates and with these stone walls. He's going to actually have quite a lot of health on them by the time anything gets in as well.
Yeah, he'll get Castle Age, he'll get the double HP.
Exactly. That's really nice. And
I killed the mining camp.
And in the back, crossbow. Going to push fire away. Like, that difference in timing there is significant. And Lick's actually going for university and ballistics here, but he's got to be careful. He's going to be trapped between the two of them. Does want to try and micro down those knights.
That was actually a nice spot to stand in, though.
Yeah.
Between the palisade and the house. I think I would have just sat there.
I think so, too.
Look at fire just walking into the middle.
That's fantastic. And I think those green crossbow might be dead. Oh boy, I feel like Lix would have been well better off just staying in the hole.
Yeah, right, because only 2 or 3 knights can attack at a time instead of all of them just getting around them like that.
Well, that was a Titanic from the SY team.
Like, just look at the KDs, like both of them are so far down.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's nutty.
Yeah, now they're going to go around the left side, completely ignore that wall, and force Yinghua to make another one.
I don't think he's going to get that wall up in time. Because he still needs the wall between the forest and the gates.
Oh, yeah?
Right. There's no way he's getting that wall in time.
He needs more gates. That's what he needs. But,
hey. Maybe it's still closed? Oh, they can't get in. They have to kill the house. Okay, they might be fine then. Never mind.
Well, it's going to be close. But, yeah, I think that they're not going to get through in time here. And that's good, I guess. Yinghua's stalling. But look at the military numbers. 12 and 5 military for SY. And then you've got 9 and 21.
Right, so we're looking at 30 versus almost 20.
Yeah, exactly. And now it's going to be Lix's turn to play the defender, as he is actually only just building his second TC, and I don't like the placement of that too much. It could be ranged from this side. I don't know. I don't think maybe the crossbows can reach those villas, actually. If they come in right here,
I don't think they'll be able to stop them.
7 range, and no, they can't.
They're like on the opposite side of the 7 range.
Yeah. But still, only 1 TC up for him.
All right, and we look at Goku. He's 20 vills ahead of every other player in the game.
3
TCs happily booming away.
Your Mayan players already got 3 TCs as well.
2 of the TCs are on stone, so we have castles up for plumes pretty soon. And these crossbows out in the middle of the map.
Yeah, they're going to get caught again. They do have Yinghua here with the knights. Goku has better upgrades on his knights, but Yinghua is reinforcing. Both of the knight players getting on top of the crossbows, as they need to do. But I do think that this should be cleaned up by Fire and Goku once again. The crossbow numbers are looking better for Fire right here, even though they have even upgrades. I don't know. It's actually kind of an even trade at the moment. Fire does need to get on top of this hill. But actually, you know what? Yinghua is coming in with more reinforcements than Goku here.
I think Fire's probably got at least 10 crossbows at home.
Yeah, I think... Yeah, I mean, they're all the way out of position. And I think Yinghua is reinforcing that a lot more than Goku is.
Well, he's got 3 stables. Goku's only got 2, right?
I believe Goku, only has 2. So there are 3 here from Yinghua. But the big difference here being really the eco situation.
1 TC versus 3.
Why is Goku not reinforcing that fight so much? Because he's actually making a lot of villagers instead of a lot of knights. And so he's going to be pulling ahead in economy massively. Compare the 2 Frank players now. It's 50 vills versus 83. And Goku can sit behind his walls for a bit and buy some time. Although I think he has a hole here. And now he's adding in more stables. So he's going to start out producing Licks significantly. And Licks at some point has to make a switch into sort of focusing on his eco a little bit more. He cannot play the game out with 1 TC.
Well, they can, but they need to win the game within the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, and I just don't see that happening at the moment. They could give it a go, but I think it's unlikely to pay off. Let's see, though. Goku coming in at the back.
He shouldn't be doing it. He needs Fire to come back him up.
And he is here, just around the corner. Fire coming in now and using these little choke points quite nicely. Knights here, they're incredibly strong, but against this many crossbows in a small area, they still don't perform too well.
But Fire's blocking Goku's Knights from getting into the fight.
Yeah, he's bringing them back now, fighting over that choke point. Wow, this is like mini Black Forest right here.
Who's going to make the 4-layer fortified wall in that space?
Just build it up. But this would be a nice place for a TC later on. But I think right now they're focusing on winning the fight. More reinforcements from Yinghua coming in. Of course, we're expecting Goku to start out-producing Yinghua any minute now. But we do need more reinforcements from Fire to enter this fight. The crossbow numbers are really important. If you can have a critical mass of crossbows behind a meat shield of knights, you're just going to be one-shotting all of those knights and pulling ahead in the fight significantly.
But obviously, both of the crossbow players, they're both up to Imperial Age. Lix is slightly ahead. I feel like
Lix has played well this game.
He needs to get back with these crossbows, so he can't throw them away. Like, he realizes, okay, I'm up to Imp. If we just stall for the next 2 minutes, then we can push once I get Power Spike. It feels like a waste to throw away all these crossbows and then research Arbalest for nothing. Yeah, and he's actually coming forwards with a range down. I think SY are going to have to be committed here to this sort of lower eco approach and just go all in on military at this point, because if they fall back now and start like defending and building up economy, they're going to fall so far behind, because Goku will be he'll have Cavalier, he'll have a lot of production, and Yinghua won't be able to match that. So I think the hope really is like, okay, we'll both, or at least Lix will get up. I'll support you as much as I can, and your Arbalest and Bracer Power Spike can hopefully kill off these knights. Because by then, there should be at least 30, 40 knights supporting Lix's crossbows, right? Then they can try to make a push as soon as they hit Arbalest. Yeah,
and he's got 27 knights at the moment. Lix has 34 crossbows. Goku, meanwhile, has 13 knights. And then there's 28 crossbows. So there's a lot more military on the map now for SY. But boy, oh boy, Lix needs to keep those crossbow alive here. That's important.
Oh boy, and they see these forward archery ranges. So I would assume they're thinking, okay, Lix is coming forwards. He's probably up to Imp.
Oh, yeah. He is. But then again, they know Fire's up to Imp as well.
So it makes sense. Like, you would think, okay, if I'm up, he's probably up too.
Yeah. And Fire is on stones, but I don't see a castle from him yet. There it is. He's building it in the middle of the map. That's a very forward position.
Probably not going to go up if that gets seen.
If it gets scouted by these knights, yeah. But, I mean, that does rely on Yinghua moving his knights just a little bit, I think. I don't know if he sees that right now. Oh, he does. He actually sees it.
Maybe.
Maybe
not. If he noticed it.
Yeah, he's noticed it. I think that castle it might be denied.
Definitely not going up.
Yeah, they're looping around the backside as well. Coming. Everything is coming right here.
Oh, God.
And the Arbalest upgrade's about to come in as well. Chemistry as well on this.
If they get into Fire's base, they could kill so much of his
economy my goodness. They've killed so many villagers out here already. And now you've got Arbalest with chemistry on the way. They're going to be shredding through these knights. We do have Arbalest for Fire. We do not have chemistry
Cavalier
yet, though.
And plate binding armor for Goku.
Yeah,
once you get to that 6 pierce armor point, Arbalests really start to fall off.
Yeah, they do. Okay, well, we're going to see the fight now, but they need to fight together. Yinghua's coming in. Let's see what he can do. They can take the fight before plate barding armor completes. They can take the fight before Cavalier comes in.
They sort of have to. They don't want to,
They've got a lot more military here. They've got a lot more military. And we've got chemistry on these Arbalest, which is really significant. And I think they're going to actually take out most of Goku's knights, if not all of them, before the techs come through. So this is so good for SY.
I feel like that's a huge throw. Like, they didn't want to lose the hill, for sure, but like you've got Cavalier and plate barding armor so close to getting in.
Oh boy, this is awesome for SY.
Yeah,
this low eco approach is buying them so much time. They're so far behind in vills, but they're so far ahead in military. The potential to do damage here is huge. And
right. Just some forward rams or mangonels or something from Licks.
Yeah, we do need some siege.
Okay,
that is coming
There's
now.
A siege workshop.
Coming late, I suppose, and forcing a few villagers idle from Goku. Still, Fire, though, will get his castle up now, and I think that if Fire and Goku can at least hold off on losing too much in the next few minutes, they might be able to stabilize and get back on top of this. We do need some siege, I feel, to deal with.
If you've got 30 knights, you can kill a TC pretty quickly.
Well, that's true, but I think we still need some siege in general to deal with all these
Goku's just going for Paladin.
Oh my god.
He's thinking, okay, there's a ton of army outside my base. Instead of spamming Cavaliers to defend myself, I'm just going to get Paladin.
Although he will send out the Cavaliers
anyway,
and that might be a bit too soon.
Oh, I think that's actually okay, though, because all those Arbs, they're by themselves. There's no knights nearby to support them.
Oof. That's true. There are more Arbalest behind here.
But that's a pretty good trade for Goku.
Yeah, it's not too bad. We do have the Mayan player as well, lacking the +4 defense at the moment. But still, it's not too bad. Obviously, this combination from BZK, at the moment, it's a little stronger thanks to the extra health and the extra armor on the Cavalier. But he will lose his Cavalier again right before the Paladin upgrade comes in. So I feel like that's kind of a repeat of history. But the military count for SY has dropped off significantly over the last couple of minutes here.
For sure. But I feel like in that case, it was an okay fight to take.
Yeah.
Because there was like that huge bunch of crossbows, or sorry, arbalests sitting by themselves. I think it was fine to get that.
A lot of dead Arbalest.
Yeah, right. There's that huge just pile of bodies stacked up in that spot. And now we see that you can sort of back up a little bit more.
But Paladin could absolutely turn this game around for sure. BZK.
100%.
Like all of these Arbalest here, they will die in the next couple of minutes because Paladin will come in, they will steamroll this. And there we go. BZK getting ready to make their little push. And yeah, like the thing I would say though is SY, they've committed a lot to this, and I do think it has paid off, even if they've not done a killing blow or really hurt the eco of BZK. I still think it's paid off because it has bought themselves a lot of time to bring up their villager populations a bit.
The problem is like they're still 30, 40 vills behind in total.
That's also true. And
these Paladin,
look at them, they're absolute tanks.
If they were fighting Cavaliers, I would say it's okay, but against Castle Age Knights, it's not nice.
Good job by Licks here, getting into this choke point, though.
Oh,
I do like
the castle.
that.
Delete the castle. Delete the castle.
The castle's... He doesn't want to delete the castle.
It's a Frankish castle. It's fine.
It's cheap. Yeah, that's true. Fire's a little bit out of position here, so these Arbalest are going to trade a lot better than they should. That's a fantastic position for Licks, but yeah, he will get cleaned up now. The Arbalest of Fire are there. And I think BZK now in a fantastic position to start taking over the game.
Castle pushing, switching into plumes, and there we are.
That's the GG. So it was a really nice attempt by SY. Obviously, BZK started strong. And instead of going for like an all-in castle push or an early imp push, they did play it very safe. They knew that they hurt the eco of SY. And they knew that behind that, if they boomed, they could see the game out in the late game when they take a tech advantage, which is exactly what we saw here. We saw Paladins out. We eventually saw the switch into Plumed Archers. And at that point, Yinghua only halfway up to the Imperial Age, and there was no way that the push that they did earlier was decisive enough to turn the game and swing it back into SY's favor. But I do think that they played a nice game. I do think they gave it a good shot. And they certainly killed a lot of the BZK army, but they just couldn't follow through. They couldn't, come through and start killing off TCs and really hurting Goku's eco. And they certainly didn't hurt him enough to prevent him from getting Paladin, which in the end, really turned this around outside of Goku's base. So well played to BZK. They were clearly ahead right from the start when they got that raid into Yinghua's wall, which was open. And then they just saw the game out from there. They didn't make too many mistakes.
Goku just decided, okay, we've done damage. I'm just going to sit back, make just enough knights so that we don't lose map control early, and then just boom ahead.
Yeah, for sure.
And it worked out really well for them.
It did. And it was an enjoyable game. I like messes. Looking forward to seeing more of that map. But let's take a quick look here at the KDs and such. Licks clearly pulling his weight. I mean, he did a really good job there. Killed a lot of knights, a lot of cavalier, a lot of everything, really.
Yeah.
But it's also expected when he has a largest army of 63 and the next person
also
has...
makes sense that he lost so much army. He was making the most, so he lost the most.
It wasn't enough to completely turn the tide of the battle. If you tuned into our stream yesterday, by the way, we actually did a best of 9 show match between Doubt and Tato. And I think what SY were trying to do in that game was what Tato did in the last game against Doubt. He went all in with 1 TC and then absolutely crushed Doubt, who was booming. But it didn't quite work out for SY there.
They sort of had to do that because they were so far behind booming to begin with. They would always be 30 builds behind.
Yeah.
Right? So they can't try to match their strategy when you're behind to begin with.
Yeah. And there you go. Timeline for anyone who's interested in that. But we're going to go ahead and come out with this game. We'll be looking at the next game in just a moment. Notes up next. I think we might need to change the text size on that one.
Oh, yep.
But it's not too important. But yeah, we have got Notes up next. This is kind of like... I was looking at the maps earlier and I was like, this is a bit like Yucatan. It's basically Yucatan with a bit less food, I think. And yeah, if you guys are on my stream, on the Zero Empires stream, just to let you know, we're mostly live on the EscapeAoE channel. I'm not dead. I have been here the whole time, but I have been streaming on EscapeAoE. So if you're wondering where I've been, I've just not been on my channel. I've been over here instead. But thank you, Wizard Winner. I mean, that's insane. 54-month resub. Like, what? I've had a subscription button for 54 months. That's insane.
That's like 4.5 years almost.
Yeah, it's madness. And Matty Mumu with 43 months as well. That's just madness. Thank you guys for that. But yes, I am on the EscapeAoE channel. So if you want to watch us over there, that's where we'll be more often than not. And yeah, we're going to go into our next game in just a moment. I'm going to launch it up now.
You need to start yours in single player because this game has a drop in it.
Ah, it does. Okay, so I'll do that now. Do we have the file?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So Notes up next. It's obviously match point. BZK could take the series here, but we will see. This game has a drop. Oh,
we need to turn off the spec.
Yeah. You guys can't see what we're doing, but when we're doing silly things and making mistakes, let's not do that. Let's launch the game properly. And yeah, so BZK, I don't want to say it would be an upset if they win here because they're very strong players, but they're certainly not performing too well in the league
overall. But they do have match point here.
Yeah, they have match point, and it would be quite disappointing for SY, to be honest. Is this? Oh, it's in 3 parts.
There's 2 drops.
Wow, there's 2 drops in this game. Okay, well that's what happens when you've got Brazil against China, I suppose. But it looks like my game doesn't like me. It's black and
oh boy, it looks like it's not responding.
Yeah, let's try and fix that.
Let's try again.
This is pretty normal when you when you do these things. Oh, I think you need to.
Oh, that might be what caused it.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, we're going to get this game going in a sec. We're just going to get Robo out of the game room because I think that's partially... It's fine. I'll host it.
Yeah,
no problem.
We're just making silly mistakes, that's all.
All good. Yeah, so like I say, it's match point here. And I think it would be really disappointing for SY if they don't actually manage to get a game back here because SY are in contention for that second spot. They were number 2 in the league for a long while, and now it's looking like they might throw that away because they've not got many chances now as the tournament starts getting toward the end.
There's only 3 more mini tournaments essentially left after
3
this
more
one.
stages.
3 more stages, yeah. So they need to get every point they can get over these events because if you fall 5, 6, 7 points behind, all of a sudden you're almost out of it.
Exactly. And so SY here on the edge as we go into our next game, Game 2 between BZK and SY. BZK leading. It is now match point in this best of 3. Game 2, Cenotes, a map which has been around for a long time and a map which we'll review a little bit as this game goes on. But let's introduce the players. Starting with the leading team, it is BZK Fire. He's playing in the yellow to the southeast of the map. He's He's taken the Britons. And then over to the west or southwest of the map in the red, it is Goku playing as the Indians for Team BZK. So BZK in the south of the map here.
Okay, and then in the north, we have Lix playing in the green here as the Berbers. And then his teammate, we've got Yinghua in the blue as the Mayans. Okay, so...
Wow. Complete non-mirror civs.
Yep.
I love it.
I think it's very interesting how the 4 players have thought about this. Because Berbers... Like, why would you take Berbers instead of Indians? I feel like Indians are so much better through most stages of the game compared to the Berbers. You got a better eco bonus. You have a eco bonus to begin with. You got Imperial Camels.
Well, Berbers have an eco bonus.
Faster moving villages.
10% faster moving villages, Robo. It does stack up.
It does stack up for sure, but it's not as
quite
good.
the same as
it's
the
not
Indians.
The same.
No, you're right. And what's interesting here is they're both on the same side. Although I would say Indians going to be going for camels more than likely. Berbers get a cheaper stable.
So they can make their own camels, sure.
They can make their own camels.
It looks like we've got a boar steel.
Yep, I think we have. Bringing that in, Lix will grab... I mean, okay, yeah, that's one way to negate the eco bonus of your enemy. Yep. Steal their resources. Why not?
And we might see a lane coming in from the Eagle Warrior on the other side of the map as well.
Yep.
Looking around, trying to find a boar to see, but nope, fire's on it. He sees it nearby.
Yeah, he's got his front boar first, which is very sensible, and he's got the back boar quite safe. So I think he'll be fine from a steal. But yeah, Lix does get a third boar here, unless we see a counter steal from Goku, but it looks unlikely because his scout is hovering around behind his base right now. But yeah, so really the thing here that I wanted to bring up was that the Berbers have that cheaper stable. So they'll save a lot of food, they'll save a bit of gold on the stable production of knights or camels, probably camels, I imagine. And then the Indian player, they'll be paying full price, but they'll save a little bit on their villagers. So overall, it might work. I doubt we'll see any slinging going on. I mean, it's very common in bigger team games like 4v4s to sling the Berber player because it can...
Well, you got a Mayan player, right?
Exactly.
You want to sling the Mayan player.
Sling the Mayans is the meta, so you wouldn't have it the other way around. So that's not really going to happen. But I don't think we'll see a sling anyway, to be honest. I think in 2v2, it's just less likely. You need to have a really
wallable map.
Exactly.
So maybe on Metas?
Maybe.
We could have maybe seen that from the Ethiopian player. That could have happened. Yeah. But on this map, it does not look closed enough to be able to do that sort of a strategy.
No, it doesn't. And, I mean, Lix could close his base, but I think it would be too easily breakable by BZK.
And there's just too many walls.
Yeah, exactly. Too much to defend. So he will have a third boar, though, which is very nice. So we'll see what he decides to do with that. Likely scouts, as both Berbers and the Indians like to go for scouts. Although, yeah, I think the Indian player here, or both of the Berbers and Indian players, kind of need to go scouts because you want your Briton player, you want your Mayan player going for archers in this case.
Probably man-at-arms into archers is the likely thing.
Yeah, and we do see the barracks coming up here for the Briton player, and we do see no barracks yet for Yinghua, but it's still possible for him to throw down a barracks pretty soon. Although with the Mayans going straight into archers isn't so tough because
it's
cheaper archer starts.
But I always feel like worried, right? If man-at-arms come into your base,
they can really screw you up.
Yeah, if you don't have anything prepared to defend it.
For sure. So we will see man-at-arms for fire, although actually he's making them a bit early, so this is actually looking more like a standard drush than anything. I mean, I was thinking the barracks was coming up at 6:30, which is usually the drush timing. So 3 militia really early on. And I guess he wants to be there as early as possible to potentially just...
slow down the Mayan player.
Exactly. Stop him getting the archery ranges up in the first place. Try and delay the barracks. Just do whatever you can to throw them off and buy some time. And buy some time perhaps for your Indian player to get over there with some scouts as well.
Do an early double.
Exactly. And the first player up will be Goku, actually. So Goku's up quite a bit faster than Yinghua.
Even though he doesn't have a boar. Or -1 boar.
Yeah, which is...
impressive. He might struggle with food, though.
Yeah,
because all of his food income here is from the berries.
Well, he's got 6 on berries now, which means his berries are going to run out faster, which means he's going to have to seed farms a lot sooner, which throws him off a little bit. I mean, he's just playing very standard at the moment with 10, or actually it's 9 on wood. But yeah, that's sort of the extra villager on berries there. And there's the stable. He'll be fine. I mean, he's got enough resources. I mean, having minus a boar, it's your villagers still gather resources, right? Like, it's not like you're going to be that far behind in terms of food gathered.
No, it just sort of slightly affects how the build order goes. Like, you make farms a little bit earlier than normal, so you have to spend a little bit more wood than you'd like to.
Yeah, so precisely. But it's not like, oh, his opponent got 360 additional food.
No, it's not exactly like that.
It's not like that, really.
You still get the 300 food, you just eat your sheep faster.
Yeah, exactly. So, Lix will go for a stable as well. The Drush, I've lost it. There it is. Quick Wall is coming in from Yinghua. And the annoying thing here, I guess, for Fire is he's not delaying the barracks or the range.
Imagine if they were man-at-arms, they would kill those buildings so much faster. If they manage to hit a villager, they'll kill it so much faster.
I feel like that's open.
Yeah, the villagers that were there have run away.
Okay. Yeah, that's not open, right? But there's only 10 food left there. This could be an opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
If he clicked on the bush, he'd know, but he's not clicked on the bush. Obviously, Fire there, just going to give that one a pass. And that would have opened up those villagers to a raid. But anyway, looks like the ranges will be up. 2 ranges straight up for Yinghua. Fire probably expects that. And maybe he's getting 2 of his own.
And he's not that much slower, considering he rushed.
No, he's not.
And he has faster working ranges as the Brins.
He'll catch up in production.
Yeah, that should be fine.
Goku as well doesn't even come over to Yinghua here. I think the reports from Fire saying, he's walled up. You're not going to do much with your scouts. So the scouts going over to Goku instead, and they might be able to find a villager here. Does have to be careful.
He's going to get trapped in here with these scouts around the back.
Yeah, he has got to be careful. And there's a spearman coming in as well. And yeah, Goku can't pick up anything just yet.
Oh, he's taking a lot of damage there.
He has. But still on the prowl. Still potential to do damage. Still got Lix inside of his base. But yeah, bringing forward a spearman as well right now. And Goku will back around this wood line. But I'm kind of interested to see how this goes. Because it's once again BZK applying that early game pressure. And it looks to be working out quite well so far. But it's not really as damaging as the last game on Maces, where I feel like they did achieve a lot more when they doubled Lix was it your Lix? Yeah.
No, they doubled against
Yinghua. Doubled Yinghua last game. That seemed to be more effective. This game not working out quite so well, and now we're going to see both teams sort of going for that Scout and Archer combo.
Well, the standard combo. That's what we're going to see, and we're seeing Lix almost fully walled at this point. You just wall from this forest up towards past the lake. He has to go up to the edge of the map.
If he walls to there, that's going to be a hole. So probably has to go between these forests.
But once he does that, he's basically free to come over and help out.
How did that scout run over the palisade? Did you see that?
That's just AoE things.
Just AoE things, man. Like, people... I remember when HD came out, and people were like, the scout went through the wall. Like, that wouldn't... it just happened. Just AoE HD things, really. But, Goku here.
Oh, God, don't fight this spearman.
Trying to take a fight, but they're basically evenly matched. They've both got the same number of scouts, both got the same number of spears. And I think Goku's going to struggle to do anything there. On the other side, though, Fire.
Oh,
this is good. This is very good. He could get between the berries and the gold.
But the archers are at his base as well.
Oh, that's true. They are.
But they're not in any position to do damage at this point. While
One dead villager. Potentially two dead villagers. Easy for Fire. And we'll see what damage is done in return.
He just pops out his archers and he defends.
Very well played. That's the faster producing ranges for you right there. And he's picking up the archers here as well. Lovely stuff. Fire here. Great start. And a little bit of micro to boot.
8-2.
It's fantastic.
And Goku's here to help out as well. And he still has his militia alive.
And look, the hole in the berries, it has paid off in the end for Fire and Goku. Goku gets in and kills a villager there. More villagers as well, and it's just unfortunate. Yinghua's got to send his archers all the way home. The scouts for Lix are on the way over. And look at these militia getting in there as well, right?
Still managed to get a bill, tanking the TC fire.
Okay, they're now going to be careful. The scouts from Lix are here, but they've done so much eco damage. They're killing more and more villagers. And Goku's like, yeah, you know what? Let's just stick the scouts in there and kill what we can. So much idle time from Yinghua.
And, oh boy, we see the same thing from last game. Goku up to castle age really quickly, not over-investing in the scouts.
Look at the two rangers. He's idling them. He's housed it's a mess.
Right.
He's making skirms because he doesn't have enough gold to make archers. This raid has just been so good for BZK. And from here, it looks like we're going to see almost a repeat of the last game.
Maybe. But we see, though, Lix, he's doing bloodlines and scale bargaining armor. So if his scouts get into someone's base, they're going to rip a hole through someone's economy.
And he actually does have enough scouts to justify this. He's got 7, 8 scouts at the moment, which is sort of your standard number of scouts.
So if they go like straight over to Fire's base, Fire appears to be mostly unwalled, right?
He is, yeah.
Those scouts, they'll kill the archers pretty quickly, I think. Okay, well, there's quite a few.
I don't think he will, to be honest.
Okay.
I think even with +1 defense.
I think if it was just one group,
yeah,
it was fine. Now that the two of them have met up, it might be a bit dicey. But
yeah.
if they can both get there in time before Goku hits Castle Age, which I'm not sure if they're going to be able to do.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I mean, obviously, Castle Age is like 80% done now, and they kind of just only now setting out across the map. Fire's in a position to defend himself quite nicely. He's actually walled up the right side all the way, or most of the way.
That's good, though. Walling to the corner pretty early means they've got trade corner secured for late game.
Mm-hmm. And I think where will those scouts go? They'll come in here maybe, but the archers are here to intercept. They might come around the back.
They can do pretty well if they get into the wood line there.
Yeah, and I think the wood line was X'd, or no, they're actually X'ing the gold, but they're going to see the scouts running in. They're going to see the archers on the hill, and I think Lix is immediately going to know, okay, yeah, I can't fight that.
And Goku's going to come in with like 2 camels immediately, and they'll clean up all of those scouts basically by themselves.
There you go, 2 stables up for the Indian player, second TC as well. Goku taking that eco approach, and okay, sending the scouts into the Indian player.
3 camel, 4
right after he's just hit castle. Doesn't seem to be the wisest choice.
I understand why. He's thinking, okay, if I can hurt his gold economy, he can't make too many camels. Well, he's already got 4 of them, and so yeah, you might kill 3 or 4 vills. Oh, but look at that split.
Good control by Lix, and I think these villagers here, maybe 1 or 2 will go down. That's 1 villager down, 2 villagers down, 3 villagers potentially. Nope, just 2 vills. Oh, yeah, there you go, just 2 vills, and then the scouts get cleaned up. I mean, it's worth trying it, right? You're going to be making
just letting them die.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to be making those upgrades at some point anyway because you're going for camels yourself. So why not send the scouts in and see what you can do? I feel like you might have had more success trying to hit Fire, though.
I think so, because he doesn't have camels to defend, right?
Exactly. And he was there a lot earlier, so the camels wouldn't have been there for a while either. But
you know, it's easier to say this in hindsight.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
Why are you attacking right now? You're just about to hit Castle Age.
Well, he's going in. There's a tower on that gold.
I hate this. I hate it. Like, this is the second game where we've seen a player who's almost about to age up, just throwing away army. Like, as soon as you hit Castle Age, you get +1 range. Like, why would you not wait for that?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And, you know, he's got his teammate here as well.
Why is he
camels.
making knights? What? Why would you make knights against Indians? Oh, my God.
I don't get that at all. Like, Lix actually has the same stats on his knights, bar the extra 1 pierce armor.
Right, yeah.
Sorry, did I say knights?
Yeah,
camels.
Camels, exactly.
Yeah, and they're 15% cheaper, which makes them way better.
And remember, like, these Indian camels, they have an attack bonus versus buildings. So, who needs rams when you've just got camels, right?
They're actually tearing the stable down pretty quick. Oh, boy.
Like,
and what are the knights going to do here?
I understand having a couple of knights because they do better against the crossbows.
That's so questionable.
But you can't make mass knights against Indians. That's just horrible.
That's very questionable. And there you go. That stable is actually going down so quickly.
Right. And yeah, okay, he runs away with the 2 knights, but he's not going to be able to use them.
Okay, here we go, though. Crossbows coming in, and I guess SY are just trying to take a good fight now. It's going to be difficult for them to take this fight.
Military numbers are basically all even.
Yeah.
Between all the players at this point.
We've got... Nice hill here for SY. I mean, they might be able to take the fight. If the knights can get onto the crossbows, then that will go better. But the play here is BZK will just protect the crossbows.
Yeah,
and while the crossbows do the damage.
You just sort of hide behind the crossbows, and then you run forwards, kill some things, and then run back again.
Yeah. They are going back, however. I think they're feeling a little outnumbered on the front, and they're waiting for some reinforcements.
And ballistics as well. That's the key one.
There is a lot of crossbows back here for Fire in the middle of the map. And looks like, actually, Lix is going to come round to the left side and try and push on the front of Goku's base. It's just, yeah, it's just camels and crossbow versus knights and crossbow.
In theory, like, the knights do have an advantage if they can keep the numbers, right? But as soon as they fall behind in numbers by a little bit, the camels are just going to overwhelm them.
That stable went down faster than the other one.
There's more knights attacking it.
There's a lot more stuff attacking it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see them now. They're actually going to let SY come into Goku's base.
I think that's okay, because he's got TCs to defend, and then they can trap their army in there.
Exactly.
Hopefully.
I think the idea is to keep them inside and trap them as they come in from the back. Though they have got to bring the army together. They're also kind of got this hill on the backside, so they're not going to want to come out the same way they went in. Otherwise, they're giving BZK the hill advantage. And in they go. A lot of idle time for Goku now. A few dead villagers here. Just need to get into the town center. Now they're going to try and fight under the TCs. And then see what they can do. Keeping those camels back close toward these crossbows. This is kind of a nerve-wracking moment. I think SY, if they lose this fight, they're in big trouble.
Well, same for BZK, though.
Exactly.
Then they've got a huge army in his base that they can't kill later.
Well, here we go. The camels getting onto the knights here. I think this is looking actually really good for SY at the moment. There's a lot of crossbow.
Yeah, I don't think they fought that well at all. They're throwing away so much of their army.
Oh, and there's a lot more crossbow coming in as well. SY in a fantastic position after taking this by the looks of things.
Looking like they could maybe try to level this out. 1-1 pretty soon.
Maybe, maybe. More camels could be coming in from Goku, though, which means that he may be able to keep the reinforcements coming up at a rate that can clean these crossbows up as well. Lix, of course, sorry, not Lix, Fire, not able to reinforce as quickly as he would like, and actually getting cut off by the 3 knights over there. So they will clean this up eventually, thanks to those extra reinforcements. But all in all, I don't know, it looks kind of even, actually. Like, I guess BZK are ahead in Vills, but the KDs are somewhat also favoring...
it's sort of balanced,
BZK
right?
Slightly. Yeah, it's fairly balanced. But then, you know, BZK may have a few more kills, but keep in mind the Berber units are also cheaper. So it does kind of balance out in the end.
Right, and it makes sense that you've killed more because he's making more. I just feel like Fire didn't take that fight well at all, right? You've got more range than they do, and they aren't actively killing many of Goku's vills. So like, you could just keep, you know, picking off 2 or 3 knights, 2 or 3 crossbows, and then backing off, right? You didn't have to just go all in there and lose so much when they could have taken far less casualties over a longer period of time.
Yeah, potentially. But then maybe at the same time, they just don't want to have Goku's TC idling for half an hour either, like while they do that.
He's got another gold off to the left, right? He could just send the villagers over there and
that's true.
Fine.
So we're going to see again another fight, I think, in the middle here as they come up toward this hill. At this point, military-wise, it's still very even.
Yeah, slight advantage for SY.
Got Thumbring coming in now as well, though. Obviously, Britons do not benefit from that tech. That could be quite significant here for the SY team.
Well, yeah, like the whole point of Britons is you use the +1 range, right?
Yeah.
You micro as much as you can. You pick off as much as you can without taking return damage.
Taking a micro approach, though, is not always that easy when you're playing in high lag.
True. That's true.
And actually, Lix is going to surround these crossbows. That's a good start to the fight.
Camels get in there.
Camels are in. And the crossbow from Yinghua at the back going to be firing away that much faster, with that much more accuracy as well. And I think that should end up going quite well for SY right
SY
there.
should win this fight for sure.
Oh, absolutely. The camels go down, and the fire continues to send in more and more knights here. This is looking very good for SY at the moment in this engagement. Score-wise, though, BZK is still ahead.
Thanks to their vill lead.
That 78 villager population, both of them on the same village account, which is quite interesting.
They're 40 vills ahead overall between.
Should we have a look at the graph?
Yeah.
40 vills. Quick maths from Robo.
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
He's good at that math stuff. But yeah, so I do think that SY now, again, it's like last game. They've got to do some damage with that bigger military.
Have to deal with the military, get in there, kill the vills, take down TCs while they're able to, before the eco lead becomes insurmountable. When they get the upgrades, they get Imperial Age, and then it's like, oh shit, there's Arbalests and Halberdiers and Imperial Camels, and we've just got Knights. Yeah,
and that would be worse than last game as well.
Yeah.
Imperial Camels are a bit of a bigger threat than Paladins in this case when you're making Knights. But still, they're going to push in now, and they should clean this up. BZK should clean this up.
Yeah, pushing
even,
it back.
With the hill bonus and the camels in defense.
And it looks like Fire's dropped a couple more ranges at home as well. So he's just going to start spamming out these crossbows.
Look at those camels getting stuck in. That was good control by Goku there to get right in between those crossbow. But they are outnumbered, so they've left their hill as well, which is kind of unfortunate for them. And it's actually going to give SY an opportunity to get this right back and push it back again.
Yeah, I feel like BZK are stuck on the defensive at this point.
Well, I think it was a mistake to push off the hill, to be honest. I mean, he did a good job getting the camels in between the crossbows, but did he really want to be there?
Camels don't do that well against crossbows,
no,
right? They got half the attack power the knights do.
Exactly. And they have less pierce armor as well, so... Yeah, they're not really very good at that role.
Like, this now is the only time they should leave the hill, is when they see the enemies moving to the other base. And then you just sort of follow them over there.
So, again, SY here, in the similar position to last game. Fire going up to the Imperial Age right now. That's the Britain player. I imagine Goku will be going up at some point as well fairly soon, although it's expected it will be later than the Britons because, of course, his units are costing him food and gold. But how close are the SY team to going up? Is Yinghua anywhere near?
Halfway of the resources.
Nearly there.
Ooh, boy.
There's a forward castle. Ooh,
I like that.
I like it a lot. There's actually quite a lot of sort of gold out here and here, so having the map control is really valuable.
And that's a really big hill to secure.
Yeah. Right outside of Goku's base. And if Goku doesn't get up to Imp, which of course he's going to be slower to go to Imp, taking that castle down will be sort of delayed.
Well, I think Fire would probably just come over with some trebs at some point.
Potentially.
But now we see we've got a reversal. Goku is ahead of Lix in military numbers, like the first time in the game. With just a million camels here. 36 to 20. So many stables.
6 stables I can count. Against, well, actually against 6 as well. So similar numbers of units. But, yeah, similar number of stables, sorry. But, of course, Goku ahead in the units. My bad.
And Goku, wow, he's about to click Imp.
Oh, he is, but Lix is beating him to it. Goku's actually the last one up. And oh my god, another castle.
One.
Yinghua, another castle. They know they've got this military advantage, so now they're going to push it. I like that. Fire, though, I think, you know, he's got an opportunity to do something about these castles.
If he's
maybe going to build his own
Okay.
castle. He's got 750 stone, so he can build one over here.
I would guess, like, near that hill. Defend those 2 golds.
Here.
Prevent the push from coming back over to his base.
He's actually going here. That's
Works
okay.
still, I think.
It's not near enough to another hill that it would be a problem. Maybe a treb here would reach. I don't think it would.
No, I think that's too far.
Yeah, so it's okay. But, yeah, I think he wants the castle closer so he can get the treb out and start dealing with this. But looks like Goku's lost a TC, and SY are in a position to start pushing through and do some serious damage now.
Still got a Vil lead, though.
That's true. He has. But...
And I think at this point, everyone's just going to sort of slow down and wait for Imperial Age.
yeah, pretty much. Not
boy.
Fire, though.
Fire's already in Imp. He doesn't need to wait.
And he's Britons as well. 10 range on those Arbalests, just picking off Vils all over the place.
Yeah.
Although he has got to be careful. Yinghua is about to go Imp as well. And we've got knights coming over from Lix. And yes, they are only knights. Yes, these are blessed.
Oh, but that's a lot of knights.
Yeah, exactly. They do have Bracer, and they're about to have Chemistry.
Come on, get into the corner.
But this is okay. This is good for SY here.
Oh,
this is very good for SY.
I don't like how he's using his arbs. Like, there's a little corner right next to him.
Right there?
Yeah. Like, he could have just walked over 1 tile space, and then half the knights can't attack him.
Here comes the camels. It's like BZK are just sending their armies in sort of 1 by 1 in a way.
Not ideal at all.
It's going to back up. Some Arbalest over here.
Again, just going to get cut off by 2 armies.
Oh, yeah. That's a lot of knights again from Lix, and it's pretty good for Lix.
Oh, boy, that is a ton of camels.
If you put all those camels on a weighing scale, it'd probably be more than a ton.
Yeah, probably.
It's probably about 50 tons worth of camels, actually. Goku coming up here, taking the fight on the hill, but heavy camel, man.
Oh,
it
boy.
is such a long tech.
And that is a forward castle from Fire.
It is. And also we've got Cavalier about to pop, but he is fighting uphill. There's a lot more camels coming in. These Arbalests, though, are so much better against camels. And so they're just going to be sitting here taking down the camel numbers. And remember, Goku had a larger military than Lix a second ago. He's just lost everything.
He had 50 plus camels.
Oh, they're going to deny the castle too?
Yeah, that castle was never going to go up, right? That was so aggressive with not enough military to back it up.
Oh my goodness. And that is, I guess, case in point, why you go knights and not camels.
Yeah, I guess so. And now we see SLI, they've got the score lead for the first time in the game. Well, since the game really started in, Castle Age.
Thanks to the chat there, camel average weight is about 500 kilograms. So he would need to have, how many tons did I say? 50 tons?
Something like that?
Yeah, he'd need 100 camels.
Well, he had half of that.
Yeah, well, and now they're heavy camels, so they probably weigh a bit more.
Plus the armor, plus the weight of the guy who's sitting on the camel.
I mean, it's not just a camel. It is a guy with a shield as well,
yeah,
and a sword.
And a scimitar thing.
And probably some food rations.
Yeah.
In the back.
And a bedroll, maybe. And
yeah.
You see, like, they've got a big cloak and stuff.
I'd say these camels are closer to a ton each. Sorry.
Go home, Zach.
I will stop. I'll stop. But, yeah, so let's load up part 2. That's the game dropped there, so we're loading part 2 now. And it doesn't want to work.
Oh boy.
I know why this is, by the way. It's because we've got a second monitor and it might be on a different refresh rate. If I turn off the second monitor, I can guarantee that the game will launch successfully. Like Viewably does not like second monitors.
Okay.
Or maybe Age of Empires doesn't.
Okay, we'll see how this goes then. He's given us a guarantee that it will work.
There's no more monitors plugged into this PC, is there? There's only these 2. So we're fine.
Yes, I think so.
All right, we're going to get part 2 going in just a sec. Why, though?
Oh.
It's like half loading the game and then it crashes? Hello? Why do you do this, Age of Empires? Okay. It does work if you try it enough times. It just... I think I'm just unlucky.
We'll get there eventually. Don't worry, guys.
I
100% guaranteed that it will launch. Oh, wait.
Yeah, maybe on the third attempt. It's very strange because it's very inconsistent. Sometimes it just works and sometimes it doesn't. And go.
Hey.
There you go. It worked that time. So we're back in. Apologies for the slight delay there with getting the game resumed. But yeah, they are fighting over this sort of center area of the map. Fire has got his castle up. He did, of course, fail the castle over here, right here. And now we have a castle from Yinghua going up here. And this is where I think SY start to pull ahead. They're switching now into plumed archers. They've got
a better
Cavalier.
Unit.
And it's just, yeah, like you say, they're a better unit. They don't have the range, but they have the tankiness. And if Yinghua can get those upgraded, then he'll be in a good position.
I think one thing we need to point out, though, all of the castles are on this side of the map.
Left side?
Yeah. So if they decided to raid his base, there's nothing to defend.
Who Fire's base?
No, Yinghua.
Oh, Yinghua.
There's nothing there to defend him.
Okay, that's true. Actually, you're right. It's
right,
very,
like,
very,
even
very
just
open.
like 15 or 20 camels going over there, assuming that they're in a position to do that, could hurt him pretty hard.
Well, you should never assume because that might make an ass out of you and me, Robo. But we will see.
You don't need my help to be an ass.
Wow. Thanks, man. You're fired.
Oh, damn it.
Lix, though, will send a raiding party over towards Fire. And Fire is also in a similar situation. I see a lot of villagers, and I see no defensive structures here.
No, that's true. That is very, very true. The camels should maybe come chase it down.
I think they were chasing some down, but they've kind of left these guys over here. And that's a lot of free real estate for Elix right here. Killing off all those villagers. And
oh boy, this is not good.
It's like he's not even noticed this. How has he not noticed? This looks like me when I play Age of Empires 3. I've like lost half my eco and I didn't even realize.
Like what? I didn't even know that they were standing there, right?
Yeah. Like what is going on? That is a shame for Fire because that's a very costly.
But he's just lost like 15, 20 bills almost.
Yeah. So Yinghua now with the trebs, 3 trebs up. I expected Fire to have the trebs. He has them, but he doesn't have them deployed.
Maybe he needs to get Warwolf and just start blasting away at.
Yeah.
the Archer army.
Man, Warwolf, I swear we just don't see it enough in high-level games, but it's such a good tech.
Right. It basically turns him into 16 range onagers.
Yeah. Oh, here we go, though. The Imperial Camel are in, and they're going to sort of push forward with that. There's not many plumed archers here, so these Arbalest from Fire will have no problem taking care of the ranged army of Yinghua, and those camels on the front lines coming through. The Trebs are on a mission. I think they think they're rams, Robo. I think he's trying to ram the Trebs forward.
I think they're just ignoring the Trebs and going straight for the next set of castles.
Yeah, it looks like he's going for the castle over here, and I guess they're just confident enough to win this fight and take the Trebs out manually with the Imperial camels. And yeah, this is looking like a really good pushback from BZK now. You know, for a while it looked like SY had a great momentum swing, and now it's right back to BZK.
Well, Fire has more military by himself than both of the SY players together.
Yeah, that's insane. And actually, I'm really loving this game because it's very back and forth. Can I just quickly look at the military graph while they're backing away? Look at that.
Yeah.
Like, this is where the game started.
They were like 20,
and now it's just
ahead.
Way up in favor of BZK, up to a 50 military advantage. And those are Britain ranged units. He doesn't have Yeoman yet, so he's not got the extra +1 range, but it's still good enough.
But Lix is going for another raid on Fire's economy.
He is. He's in. And he's going to find a lot of villas again, because like you said earlier on, the castles are all on the left side of the map. So Fire is hemorrhaging villages right here.
Yeah, well, there's nothing else to say, really. They're just going to run around and destroy everything they can find.
Yeah, and there's so little protection as well.
There's no... Oh, they're signing up trade as well.
Yeah, getting trade going. Both teams getting trade going here, it seems. And they've both got 2 corners of the map, so they're quite happy with that. Going for the castles now. Looks like he'll eventually get the castle up down here on the hill. He's got 5 Trebs.
He's taking 2 castles at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, look. And speaking of castles... Yinghua does have a lot of castles.
And they're all on these hills.
Yeah, but I think they're going down, and if you can take the castles off of the Mayan player, you're going to be very happy about that. So, you know, it's kind of a risk building all the castles in one place, because if you lose that area, you're losing everything.
Yeah, you lose all 5 castles, not just 1 or 2 of them.
And there's no way that SY can easily push into this mass right here, because they've got less numbers, and they really just want to fight on the hill, but the castles can outrange that. They're going to take out... sorry, the Trebs can outrange that. They're going to take the castle on the right, and then they'll take the one to the left of it, and suddenly Yinghua's going to be down.
I feel like he really wants some siege rams.
Yes, yeah. Siege
just
rams,
like even
maybe.
just 4 or 5 siege rams just to get in the front, just to slow them down. But and then they can push in behind it.
Still, the Imperial camels are there, and they're an ever-present threat to pretty much everything right now.
Yeah, that's
they've got 5 pierce armor and 160 health. The Cavalier have 6 pierce armor and 140 health. So these Imperial camels are doing probably a little bit better than the Cavalier against ranged units.
Actually, no, it would be worse because they've got less pierce armor.
Yeah, but they have more health.
I think +1 pierce armor is better than +20 health.
Okay. Well,
against
anyway,
ranged units at least.
Part 3. The game did drop twice during this series, so we're continuing on with Part 3. The power of recorded games. We don't have to sit through the drops and wait for the players to all reconnect. We can just go straight back in, and they're going to make the play. They're going to push up the hill. BZK just steamrolling.
And he's only got 2 castles left, and they're both here. And this one's about to go down.
Anything else happening anywhere else on the map? We still see the raiding, but somehow Fire's still at over 100 villagers. He's not stopped villager production.
Oh, but the Trebs.
Oh,
no, but the camels there, they're pretty quick.
2 Trebs nearly going down, but yeah, eventually that castle will fall. It's nice of Lix to be repairing the castle, though. But as the Imperial camels get up there and take out the villagers, the castle's gone. And look at the military count now.
Oh, 20 military between
against,
them.
Like, over 120 military.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my goodness. Yinghua getting architecture.
After they're all dead.
Well, he learned from his mistakes, right? How
Elite
do you think his
Genitor.
civilization learned to reinforce their buildings?
Yeah.
They had to lose in order to win. But yeah, that's too late now. And I didn't ever think I'd see the Mayans making
Genitors.
Cavalry units. Where did they get the horses from? They didn't have horses.
They stole them from their ally.
Yeah, I guess they have a very good trade relation with the Berber ally. Everyone knows history. Historically, the Mayans and the Berbers were very close.
Yeah, they were like the best of buddies.
Yeah, so it looks like we will see the final castle from Yinghua going down, and that's just rather unfortunate, isn't it, for SY? They really looked to be in a strong position, and now it's gone right back to BZK. Raiding, however,
with
on
the
that
genitals.
Fledgling trade. Hey, don't diss genital raiding. It's very, very strong. And Yinghua is actually killing the trade before it can make this trip, so it's actually a really good thing for SY, but
you
they still have to
this,
deal with this.
This huge, massive army on this hill that's about to push into their economy, into their trade line.
Yeah, and I don't know how they stop this at the moment.
Like, those camels could kill the castle by themselves. They don't even need trebs at this point.
What does the Berber player do? Like, camel archers aren't going to cut it.
No, they have to be making cavalry.
I think he needs to go camels.
I think a mix. 50-50 camels and cavaliers. Because then you've got something to work on the camels, something to work on the arbs.
Yeah, but you really need your Mayan player to be at full strength here.
Yeah, that is definitely true.
And Yinghua is far from it. It's 130 population, Robo. It's not good. And yet another castle will fall for SY. It's looking grim for the Chinese team, and they're going to be so disappointed with this. BZK haven't had a good performance this tournament, and of course, right when things are heating up and the fight for second place is so close, there's 3 points between the top 4 teams, suddenly this is where SY slip, and this is where SY are going to lose their opportunity to score points.
And this is also where the Brazucas, when they start to come back into it.
Yeah. I don't think Brazucas are in a position to possibly get second place now.
Things would have to go their way.
They would have to win everything, I think.
They would have to win everything, and all the other teams lose perfectly.
Yeah, and that's why I think it's a sting to SY here, because SY are in a position to get second place and go to the LAN final, and now Brazucas, who probably haven't even got a chance to go to the final, are going to stop them dead in their tracks.
Pretty much, because they're guaranteed to lose at least 3 points. So if they win this, they get 3, possibly up to 8.
Yeah.
And at this stage, it looks like they're going to get 0.
Yeah. It looks like it's over. They are continuing to fight on. They really don't want to call a GG here. But, I mean, it's just inevitable at this point. They just cannot catch up to that military
100
mass.
military to 60. I mean, yeah, they're in the trade line, but those Imperial Camels are just going to destroy the Genitors. Like, look at them. They're, like, basically, like, 2 hitting them.
Let's see. 1. It's literally 2 hits. Oh, my God.
That's insane.
I feel like we're watching something from RuneScape when like a level 100 guy just comes and one-shots a rat in Lumbridge. Just because he can. Like, oh my God. Yeah. I mean, it's over. It's well and truly over. SY, though, they're just, like, they don't want to give it up, of course. But what can they do now? What can they do?
Like, they're trying to move their trade line, but even that's not safe. And oh boy, 4 castles coming in from Goku, just securing this hill that they've just taken. They've basically got 3 corners at this point. There's no possible good trade line for SY. Both of their players down below 100 bills. 2 castle production to plumed archers is not enough.
No.
When you're this far behind.
You need at least 3. And, I mean, he's going to get a decent number of plumes together before they take another fight. And he's got, more plumes coming up here on the left side. Goku as well, also switching into some light cav, which could be a good opportunity for SY to sort of push back, but yeah, it's only because BZK are investing into trade right now.
Exactly.
And at some point, that this light cav will turn back into Imperial Camels, and at that point, SY will have no trade.
And it's already, almost 60 trade carts.
They have a little bit of trade, but looking at the graph here, you're going to see, look at that. Villagers and trade. Way ahead
plus
for
30
BZK.
something. This is over.
It's well and truly over. Poor SY. There goes their game, and there goes their position in the league. It's hard to...
That castle's staying up
hello,
there. Hello. We're like, oh yeah, this is down. Let's just move on. But
yeah,
no,
I did just
the Bills are just bashing it down, repairing it madly. They should get that last ram.
That's a small win for SY. I'm sure that this is where they turn it around, right?
Yeah, this one castle.
They saved the one castle.
And that brings them back into it.
Highly unlikely. But still, I mean, they are playing on, they do have trade, so they're probably thinking like, come on, we got some trade, we can still do this.
They're making like have. They don't have any trade, but no.
Yeah, GG, it's called, and that's it. BZK, a 2-0 over SY in the first round here of the Americas stage, and boy, oh boy, that does sting a lot for SY. We'll show you guys the standings at the end of this, but yeah, that game was a good game. It was very back and forth, and we did see this sort of power struggle for some time. It looked like SY may have been able to get the momentum. When they were in the Goku's base, killing his town center, castles right outside, but Fire got Imperial. He got those 10 ranged Arbalest, and they were able to really easily beat back that Cavalier and Arbalest combination from the SY team with their, of course, Imperial Camels and additional ranged Arbalest there. So very well played by BZK. I'm sure they're going to be happy about that. Even though they may not have an opportunity to finish second and get to the LAN final, they absolutely have an opportunity to win prize money at every stage. And of course, this is a $60,000 tournament. So there is the motivation for those lower teams in the league to still fight and bring their A game every single time. And that's going to really hurt SY here, because if we look at those standings, you can see SY joint 4th place. They are 3 points away from second and tying with AM, but they cannot score any points here. And BZK, who have got 7 points, they're going to go through.
Right, and gaining 3 points for them doesn't really help them at all.
No.
Right, they can go up to equal nothing. Like
Equal
maybe
nothing.
If they get second,
they can stay in 7th.
Yeah, if they get second, they can go to equal 6th.
Yeah.
If they win this stage, they could go up to outright 6th place.
Exactly.
Which, the prize money is obviously nice for them, but
well, I think the prize money is the most motivating
for them,
factor for
sure.
BZK.
Like between VNA, Brazucas, and Heresy, they can't possibly make the LAN.
Well,
realistically,
if they win this, let's just say they win the bracket, how much did BZK win? It's like
money-wise?
Yeah, it's like $2,000 or something.
Yeah, it's a little bit over $2,000.
Yeah, so what more motivation do you need?
Oh,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
$2,000 goes a long way in Brazil, and there you go. So Americas is the theme of the stage. If you go to the escape.gg website, you can see all of the information about the tournament there.
Yeah.
We're actually closing in toward the end.
Unfortunately, the website does have a SSL certificate error at the moment.
Yeah.
You should be able to get through it if you click on like the advanced
Yeah, you can
options.
still view the website, but the SSL certificate ran out, and I need to refresh that. But the website's still functioning, and all the info is there. It's also on the ageofempires.com official website as well. It's a little bit harder to find, but if you go to ageofempires.com/tournaments, if you don't want to go to our website while the SSL is down, you can do that too. But we're going to get our next set going now. If we take a look at the schedule, you'll see Secret versus Suomi is up next. I am looking forward to this. I'll take a look at the brackets so that you can see the players for each team. You can see there, obviously the top one, Brazucas, go through to the semis, and we'll be casting the semis, by the way, from this channel live on Saturday, the next Saturday, that is, the 27th of April, starting at 14 GMT. We've been starting at 14 GMT every Saturday since the tournament has begun, so if you're wondering when we're going to be continuing with this series, that will be when. But yes, we've got Secret versus Suomi next. The Viper and Tato against the Max and Rubenstock. How exciting is that? This is just going to be an awesome match. So let's take a look at the maps if we're ready.